Hey guys, welcome back to World of Tanks Blitz. This video is not going to be a regular video, it's just going to be a quick rundown of my thoughts around the recently ended clan event Winter Manoeuvres. Just to give a little introduction to my platoon mate here, I'm playing with Marcel from the clan FunZone, FUZ. You might know it, awesome bunch of people based primarily in Germany. And it's kind of like the academy clan for the great clan called FunZone, which has actually a previous Valiant player named Alex Morphium as one of its officers. Great guy, Alex, and Marcel's also a great guy and a great player. So Winter Manoeuvres is done now. We are waiting for the final results from the Wargaming Europe team. They are a bit delayed, as they usually are. The Russians and the Asians have already had their results, and I can say already, I don't think that any other server is going to be doing as much damage as the Russians did. The #1 Russian clan did over 100 million damage, and the best player on their team, he did 6 million individual damage. So just a quick, keep focused on the game, guys, because I'm going to do an epic breakaway in a second. I start by noobing out massively. Anyway, back to Winter Manoeuvres. So it was a really cool event, I think. You had the opportunity not to shine a lot, but it gave the clans some additional motivation to pick up their teamwork and unite for a common cause. And it's been a real pleasant surprise for me, at least. We had a lot of people moving around initially. To make sure we had the most competitive clan we could, and I think we actually got some pretty good results in the end. So we will see when they do publish the final results. But it's been a hell of a lot of fun. My good friend Hasan, he has been keeping us up to date with statistics on how we were doing, and at the beginning of the event we were number 2. But we kind of fell down a bit in speed. We're almost all of us are grown men with full-time jobs, so we can't really dedicate all of our time to Blitz. But it was great regardless. And Clan Turk was leading quite a long time, at least in the beginning. But then when we got to the first weekend, Phoenix, they put in an awesome awesome dash for damage. And they literally, I think they did over 7 million in one day or something like that. It was amazing by them. So a good job, Phoenix, and yeah, good job, Phoenix. I guess that's all there is to say. So another thing that I think Wargaming should consider when they do these kind of events is trying to make it a bit more quality focused and not only quantity focused, because the event we just finished, the Winter Manoeuvres event, it did focus primarily on games played, and although that makes sense, because of course the more people play, the more Wargaming can earn. It does make the game kind of tedious sometimes, that you're only just playing just to do huge amounts of damage, or doing huge amounts of games. So. But nonetheless, it was. I think it was very fun, and it really got people motivated. We had our own thread on our forum, I think, which hit over 100 posts by the end of 1 or 2 days. So amazing stuff to all the Valiants. Great stuff, guys. Yeah. So I'm just gonna leave you to watch a bit of gameplay now, and I'll be back in a bit, because. This is going to be a pretty good game on the old Lost Temple. So this game was, or the map Lost Temple was reworked for the 2.4 update, which was released last week. And the 2.4 update, it brought with a few strange bugs. I think you might see it in some of the gameplay here. I get some strange lags, but I haven't encountered that previously. So I was a bit annoyed initially, but after having played the reworked Lost Temple map a few times, and also playing the Himmelsdorf map, I really just found the update to be amazing. So after Winter Manoeuvres has ended, I started grinding the Japanese tanks, and so far they haven't let me down. they seem awfully fun to play, especially because of the amazing gun depression that they have. You can really poke over any ridge and just pound damage into the enemy. So anyway, just enjoy a bit of gameplay here, and I'll be back in a second. So next up is me and Marcel on Winter Manoeuvres. Marcel, he starts in my favorite position to start in on when you spawn on this side of the map. He starts at the position where you can immediately race up to the windmill, where you can really pound out the damage with the strong turret of this tank. And Marcel, of course, he knows where I'm going. I'm writing to him in German. I actually lived in Germany when I was a child, so I speak pretty good German. Not that good, but it's decent enough, and it gets me around. So I do play with quite a lot of German players, and it's always a pleasure because I really think they often act as gentlemen, although there are, of course, the occasional idiots. So if you guys been checking out the EU forum, you'll see that a lot of people are anxious to get the results for the Winter Manoeuvres contest, and I was personally very disappointed that they weren't released yet. And I was especially considering that of the other servers, they had theirs released. But I mean, we can't really do anything about it. We can just wait. And my good clanmate Hason, he told me recently that apparently Wargaming Europe or Wargaming EU staff, they only have 3 full-time employees doing all of the contests, clan stuff, etc. So that's not really a lot if you judge if you think that maybe there's how much, maybe 500,000 active players, something like that. But that might be something for Wargaming to consider at some point. So I'm having a terrible start to this game, not hitting anything, and that's because I'm kind of out of position here. I don't usually go here. I usually play on the other side of the middle, where I can hold down and get much more effective fire, especially considering they're actually pretty good gun depression on this tank, as I've mentioned in a tank review. But anyway, Marcel, he's doing amazing work as usual, or as expected. He is a very good player. I don't think he is that old. I think he's maybe like 15, something like that, 14. But he performs absolutely like a pro. So it's always a pleasure to play with him, and I hope I'm going to play a lot more with you, Marcel. I'm just trying to pound some heat into the E100 turret. Trying to snap a shot? No. I'm not having a great game here, but what are you gonna do? I mean... try to sneak a shot on the IS-7, no luck. Heat always works on it. One thing that was really cool about the event was the fact that so many players were playing Tier 10 exclusively. I don't think I've ever met as many different clan members as I have had during this week or this event. I think I met at least every second game I played during at Tier 10, I met someone from a known clan, and it's always a pleasure to play against that because typically you get really close games, very good players all around the board, and especially the clans that were top performing. I don't think I've ever seen as many Clan Turk players at Tier 10 before. So good job to you guys, amazing performance judging by the initial results that we've seen, but we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait for the final results before we know how it ends. There are some very cool people in Clan Turk. They have Dixia and they have Mengesh, who's also a nice guy. And there's been some allegations about unfair play, but I honestly, I personally, I don't believe it. I mean, why they don't have any incentive to cheat, and I don't think that any of the other accusations that have been flying across the wargaming forum have any truth in them. But I can't tell 100% certain. So anyway, I'm just gonna leave you guys to watch the end of this game where I set a E100 on fire. And finishing on top of a little hill. I always like to do a little rise myself up as a trophy after a game. I don't know, it's very silly, but I think it's very funny. Anyways, guys, this is going to be the final game on Black Gold build for this video. The next couple of videos I have planned is I'm going to take a closer look at the British Tier 10 heavy tank, the FV215B. I also have some decent gameplay coming up in the T62A. Those were the two tanks that I primarily played during the event. Though I think they are both great tanks in their own respect. The T62 has a rock-solid turret. I mean, you can barely get through it with heat, so it's amazing for hold down. And if you know how to use small undulations in the terrain, you can really dish out the damage with it. I actually saw just here the bit of lag I was having. Even though the ping says everything's good, I drove a full circle almost, so that wasn't intentional. Anyways, guys, feel free to watch the game finished, and I hope you liked this quick breakdown of my thoughts on the Winter Manoeuvres, and I'm hoping for many more similar concepts in the future. But we'll have to wait and see what Wargaming have in store for us. Have a great evening, guys, and catch you soon. Bye.